You will never look at treating diabetes the same again. One of the greatest problems today is the rise of obesity and of diabetes. This growing epidemic has reached massive proportions, with 1 in 3 individuals diagnosed and living with the disease now. In this article, we are going to look at some ways you can naturally treat diabetes that many have used to cure themselves of this disease. We will look at the various methods, and you can decide for yourself their merits and benefits to you. This article does not condone you stopping taking any medications or treatments that you are currently using. It will inform you, however, of various alternative methods that are available. When you have finished, you will be better informed in how diabetes occurs in today's society and how the very food you eat may be causing your problems in the first place. Sugar everywhere. One of the main causes of type 2 diabetes is the overabundance of sugar in our diets. Sugar has now been found to act on the brain in the same way that cocaine does, and has almost identical effects for addiction on the brain. Americans on the average consume pounds of sugar every year. A single soft drink can have the equivalent of 22 packets of sugar in one 20 ounces serving. Today at many malls and service centers, people buy and drink 64 ounces supersized cups. It is no wonder we are getting fatter and insulin resistant, which is a precursor to type 2 diabetes. The so-called fast food or junk food is full of sugar and artificial ingredients, and even the diet drinks and low-calorie diet foods have artificial sweeteners that have been shown to cause us to gain weight and have a host of other health-related issues linked to them now as well. Since 1999, the various food companies have been aware of this problem, but have done little to alleviate the situation, as it would lessen their shareholders' profit dividends. This was discussed at a meeting at the time between all the big names, and the CEO of General Mills blatantly said he would do nothing to change the flavor of any of his products. This was the consensus of the other attendees as well, and the matter was dropped. What can we do about this situation ourselves if the manufacturers won't? Well, you can take some steps yourself to protect you and your family, such as cut the sugar intake of your family. Read labels. Sugar is hidden, and high fructose corn syrup is often used in place of sugar. HFCS raises another set of health issues as well, those related to sugar. Stop eating fast food. This is a major source of sugar and other artificial ingredients that have detrimental effects on your mind, body, and health. Switch to whole fruits and vegetables. Cut your dependence on carbohydrates like breads that use processed flour. Whole grain breads are better, and making your own bread would be best of all. Increase your physical activity to 1 hour of light or 30 minutes of low volume HIIT exercise. Doing this 3 to 5 times a week can reverse the negative effects of the current American diet. Soft drinks need to be replaced with water, tea, or juices of vegetable or fruit origin. Sports and energy drinks should be eliminated entirely, as their ingredients are not as tightly regulated as soft drinks and often have more sugar and caffeine than the labels indicate. Diet products with artificial sweeteners and other ingredients also need to be curtailed. Even Weight Watchers products have artificial sweeteners in them. So, you see, in order to go cold turkey is almost impossible in today's busy world. In the next sections, we will offer up some ways you can gradually wean yourself away from the products mentioned above and others that will help your blood sugar levels stabilize. The Gerson Miracle. This controversial program, hailed by many as a comprehensive plan of raw foods and abstaining from artificial and processed products like whole bread as well as alcohol and meat. This plan claims not only to help cure obesity, diabetes, but cancer and high blood pressure as well, founded by Max Gerson, who was a German-born immigrant who used nutrition to help those suffering from cancer. His work is now carried on by his wife Charlotte, who now runs the Gerson Institute. It has since the death of its founder to cover other areas such as diabetes and high blood pressure. However, this program does not have an exercise component, which we will show later as a requirement to helping you reverse the effects of diabetes. Reverse diabetes in 30 days. You can reverse the effects of diabetes according to the 30-Day Diabetes Cure by Dr. Stefan Ripich. This plan utilizes a combination of diet and exercise in a 3-phase program that covers 30 days that weans you off your dependency on sugar and replaces it with the items mentioned earlier in this article. In days 1-10 you start removing sugar from your diet. Add cinnamon to help regulate your blood sugar and replace fast food with a more healthy way of eating. Sugary drinks become a thing of the past and vegetables start making headway against the fast carbs you have been consuming at every meal until now. Days 11-20, you have entered the bubble and are removing hydrogenated oils and fats from your diet and replacing them with the good oils. Whole grains replace the processed white flour that has probably plagued you since childhood. Exercise such as yoga as light aerobics starts to get you moving off your couch, helps eliminate stress, and this is further aided by selected vitamins and better sleep patterns. Days 21-30 you now can face the world again as you learn how to deal with restaurants, parties and get-togethers. Juicing and green drinks now are added to replace the sodas, sports, and energy drinks you used to slug down with such abandon in the past. Exercise becomes a bit more intense and supplements add to the mix to bring your body and health to a better level than you've ever had before. Inflammation is also considered a source/enabler of diabetes and a host of other diseases. In the inflammation syndrome, http://www.amazon.com/the-inflammation-syndrome-nutritional-arthritis/DP/04712027111 we look at another technique for dealing with diabetes. In this program, we have a system of 4 parts that first addresses the issues with inflammation, a second part that details a diet plan to follow. Part 3 describes the supplements to aid in combating inflammation, and finally Part IV you use a nutrient plan to bring everything to a close, and at the end, you are in better health than before. Inflammation is a side effect of improper diet and lack of exercise that can exacerbate or increase your risk of dying and early death. You are given a quiz to assess your risk factors for this problem and suggestions on what you should do to alleviate this condition. In the diet section, you are given a quiz on your eating habits, and this lets you know how your diet affects your inflammation level and has a direct bearing on you developing diabetes and other life-threatening diseases. You are next shown a 15-step method to correct your diet, reduce your level of inflammation, and reverse it along with diabetes and the other interconnected diseases. From the book, these are the steps you need to take. Eat a variety of fresh and whole foods. Eat more fish, especially cold water varieties. Eat lean meats, not corn-fed, from free-range chicken and turkey, grass-fed cattle and buffalo, and game meats such as duck and ostrich. Eat a lot of vegetables, the more colorful the better. Use spices and herbs to flavor foods, and limit your use of salt and pepper. Use olive oil as your primary cooking oil. Avoid conventional cooking oils such as corn, safflower, sunflower, and soybean oil, as well as vegetable shortening, margarine, and partially hydrogenated oils. Identify and avoid food allergens. Avoid or strictly limit your intake of food products that contain sugars, such as sucrose or high fructose corn syrup. Avoid or limit your intake of refined grains. Limit your intake of dairy products. Snack on nuts and seeds. When thirsty, drink water. Whenever possible, buy and eat organically raised foods. To lose weight, reduce both carbohydrates and calories. By now, you start to see a common thread between all the methods for controlling and reversing diabetes. A 21-day diabetes reversal plan has been tested at a major university. In 2005-2006, a 21-day reversal plan had been undergoing testing at USC by Dr. Christian K. Roberts and Dr. James Barnard, and it appeared in the news and in medical journals where the entire plan is outlined for any who wish to read it. This plan is similar to the ones we have talked about previously, but this one is official. It was a well-done study and documented, so it adds more validity than books on Amazon or hearsay. The bottom line in the study again requires you to make serious lifestyle changes to reverse diabetes, heart disease, and other disease that result in a premature ending of your existence on this sphere. How do you make such drastic lifestyle changes? Dr. Dean Ornish put it very succinctly when he says, "Change or die." Not many people want to hear this, but in fact, it is the only way most people will make life-altering changes to how they have been doing things in the past. Fortunately, Dr. Ornish has come up with a way to accomplish this and without you having to die to do it. In his book, Program for Reversing Heart Disease, http://www.amazon.com/ornish-program-reversing-heart-disease/dp/080411037, which is about heart disease, but if you look at it, it is identical to the needed steps to reversing diabetes also. This may mean the two problems are more connected than most think. He has created one of the only programs that can change a person's mental attitude so they will accept and make the changes needed to help save their life. This is why this book is mentioned in this article, as if you can make the changes, you will continue down the road you are on now. He has taken it one step further in a follow-up book, The Spectrum: How to Customize a Way of Eating and Living Just Right for You and Your Family. In this program, you can select one of various implementations of his approach to reversing chronic illness that allows you to find the level of commitment that you can adjust to most easily and are comfortable with. This change or die approach was presented to IBM as a solution to many of the staffing problems that affected the computer industry during the 90s and at the turn of millennium. So it is applicable to diabetes as well as heart disease or even computers. Closing. Today we have looked at various ways you can use to help control or even reverse the effects of diabetes. Of course, many others on the market today. The ones in this article have been in use for a number of years and have many positive reviews by the people who are using them. Diabetes is on the rise today and it behooves us to find a solution. Medical science seems only to be interested in treating the symptoms rather than creating a cure, as many new control drugs have been recently approved by the FDA. No cure is forthcoming, as perhaps it is more lucrative to keep us paying to treat these symptoms rather than getting to the root cause of the problem, as alluded to in this article. So, it is up to each individual to take charge of his or her own life and health, and with the information you have received today you know enough to take steps to overcome diabetes on your own. Is helping to raise awareness of natural ways to treat diabetes. Related posts: Diabetes Alternative Medicine: How to Avoid GMO Foods, Reduce Inflammation with a Low-Starch Diet, 5 Natural Methods to Increase Weight Loss, a list of alternative medicines.